It's funny you mentioned Drew McIntyre because, guys, Drew's contract is apparently being negotiated right now and is coming up pretty soon. And this was a very interesting story. I don't know if you saw this, but he has blacked out his Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so Drew McIntyre has blacked out his Twitter profile and has removed all references of WWE as well. His most recent tweet remains his 3 waving hand emojis, which he put out after the triple threat match at WrestleMania. So here's a fun question. Let's go to David first. Should Drew McIntyre bail out on WWE and head for greener pastures, or re-sign with WWE? Do you think it's even a possibility that he leaves?
Well, what is greener pastures? We're talking about AEW.
Exactly.
I think he's where he's supposed to be. But, I mean, you also said contract negotiation. I mean, is that a negotiation move? You black it out and, up the ante when it comes to talking out your contract? I think that's the move. I don't know what he's upset about. I mean, I'm not a Drew McIntyre guy. So wherever he goes, I mean, I know Joe's big on him, but, yeah, it could just be a contract negotiation.
Joe, what do you think?
Well, working with him just the one time, I thought he was a tremendous person and a great talent. Now, you said the word greener pastures. What's that? Re-teaming up with Rusev and sitting on the couch and watching AEW.
Maybe.
They bring him in
Maybe.
for 3 months, and he puts over Orange Cassidy. Right. So I don't know what people are talking about. Here's a guy who has been a multiple-time world champion. Many people believe the best match on WrestleMania weekend was the 3-way that included Drew. Now, can you be butthurt because you didn't get the opportunity, which I thought was the big deal, that he never got to be the champion in front of basically the crowds? And it seemed like Clash at the Castle, obviously, or any other time, if somebody was going to dethrone Roman Reigns, it looked like Drew McIntyre was on top of the mountain. And to be honest, I think the feud with Karrion Kross basically brought both people down. And it did nothing for either party, and then they rebuilt or tried to rebuild Drew by sticking him in a tag team with his longtime friend, enemy, frenemy, back and forth 100 times, Sheamus, and I think that's what lost a lot of momentum. And he was kind of in limbo over the last year or so, and I think there's probably a great chance that million-plus contract he's getting in WWE will suit some things, but he probably wants stuff in the contract. Cody Rhodes walked in, and he probably got things that he wanted. And I think Drew has earned that right, and I think once it's all said and done, he'll be back in the fold.
Yeah, I mean, I think of all people that WWE really owes a debt of thanks to and should be taking very good care of, it's Drew, after bringing them through the pandemic as the champion and never getting that big moment in front of a crowd. I mean, that's such a huge sacrifice for him. And, they say, well, being the world champion is pretty good. Yeah, but this was a much different ballgame than getting to do it in front of a massive crowds and getting that adulation that he definitely deserved.
Well, if I was going to negotiate and I was on WWE, I'm going to be like, hey, bro, you were the lowest drawing heavyweight champion we've ever had. So.
0 attendance.
Wow.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's on record.
Right, right.
There's no denying that fact.
Yeah.
He drew less than Diesel.
Wow. Okay.
Well, so is his?
Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. Is Drew's contract up prior to the AEW show at Wembley?
That is a very good question.
Well, nobody seems to know.
Yeah, see, that's what I agree with you guys. Like, to me, the greener pasture is WWE. So if he's gonna do anything, to me, that's where that to me would make the most sense to just stay at WWE. But that's got to be, I would imagine if his contract would be up before that, there would be the big name. Obviously, I think you even mentioned it, Mark, before. There's your kind of your name for AEW. Like I would think that would be a reasonable possibility for that kind of show, you know. But
That would
if he were to leave,
AEW has a different fan base, so I don't know if Drew McIntyre going to AEW is going to be like, oh, he just sold 23,000 more tickets.
No, I'm just thinking of it as something like, could that be something that he could, you know, if there is a contract issue, like, well, hey, you guys, you know who, I mean, he's still a big name out there. I certainly think he would help the show overall, but I don't think he would leave. I'm just throwing that out there as a possible, you know, never know.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that.